we're now at the point where we have all the software we need to run the Microsoft Windows virtual machine. We have the file that we downloaded from Microsoft. We got VirtualBox, and we downloaded the extension pack. Now, we're not going to be able to run the extension pack. As you can see, if I click it, it doesn't know what to do with it until we run VirtualBox. So we're going to do that first, add the extension pack, and then we'll get closer to opening this virtual machine of Windows 10. Now, as you can see, these are the only files I have in my download folder. If you've allowed the virtual machine and the program to go into your default download folder, you may have hundreds of files here to sift through. So before I started this training, I cleared out my download box. That's why it looks very simple. If you've downloaded these files to other locations, well, now you need to locate them so that we can begin to run them. So I'm going to go ahead first and start by running the VirtualBox program. And I'm just going to let everything install at its default locations. I'm going to just leave the file registers the way they are. I'm going to let the shortcuts go. And I want to make you aware that VirtualBox installs what's called a virtual network driver. I'll show you what that is later, so when you see it, you don't wonder what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and continue. You may get some pop-ups saying, do you trust software from Oracle? And if you say no, then you can't install the program. So if you want this running, you're going to have to say yes. So I'm going to go ahead and start it. And now that I have that running, I'm going to close it out, and then we can run the extension pack. And you have to scroll through the license before you can agree to the terms. And then it's installed. Okay, now I'm just going to close this out. I'm going to shrink this window. I want to show you here, if you go to your network properties, and you don't have to do this, but I want you to be aware in case you see it later and you wonder, what is this? Normally on a computer, you might have one network card, and so you see a little icon that shows your network settings. Well, VirtualBox installs a virtual network adapter. So that way the machine that you install there can get out onto the internet. It creates a separate, it's as if it's its own computer on its own, using its own network card. So that is how the virtual machine stays isolated from your main computer and protects it. So just be aware, if you see this funny new virtual adapter and you wonder what is that? Well, you can see it says VirtualBox host. So that's what that is. Now let me close this out. If you want, you can reboot your system at this point. I've noticed the Oracle Virtual Machine Player, this VirtualBox player, it does not generally require a reboot. So I'm not going to do that now. But if you run into any problems as we proceed, a reboot might solve those problems. But I'm going to go ahead and just continue without a reboot. So now that we have the VirtualBox program installed, we have all the files we need. We're going to begin to open the Windows 10 virtual machine.